Hi, this is Coach Pilkey, and today we're going to talk about transitioning Generation X into Generation Fix. Anybody that grew up in Generation X knows how to face trauma. When we were kids, we didn't have any choice. There was no one really there to support us. Yeah, we had freedom, but we walked alone through the landmine fields of trauma. We didn't have too many people telling us what to do, how to do it, and that in some way it was a grace. We had to learn it on our own, but we didn't learn how to do it completely. And now we are faced with a lot of things at our time in our lives where we're taking care of parents, we're bringing up kids, other people's kids, but we have yet to take care of ourselves. I see more and more of my friends dying on the vine. I see more and more people in my generation that have achieved everything they were ever supposed to achieve, and now they're saying, what's next? Well, what's next is how do we fix what is wrong out there? We all know it. Every single person from Generation X has always felt it. It was always in our movies, in our music, and everything else. It's an idealism that dies very, very tough death. It does not want to give up. It does not want to give in because it is self-reliance. It is something that we were born with. We were forced into. We still have. But now we have to go from Generation X into Generation Fix. We have to first fix ourselves as a generation. What I mean by that is we have to learn how to love ourselves so that we can more completely love other people. And when I talk about other people, we care about everybody else more than we care about ourselves as a generation. And that's fine. But now we have to take our knowledge and caregiving perspective and we have to apply it internally to lead from within so that we can help in a different way than our parents have. We're going to have to lead differently. It's going to be a difficult change for us, but we're already doing it. We are the bridge to a complete human experience. We've walked through those landmines, as I've said. We've taken the shots. Heck, when I was a kid, you know what neuroscience was when you got concussions? Put some mud on it and get back in the game, you wimp. Now, we all know what concussions can do to a body. We've learned the science has been incredible throughout our lifetime. But not all the technology is where it should be. Not all the technology is being utilized the way it needs to be utilized. Right now, it isolates us rather than utilizing its full potential to not only bring us together, but to develop each and every person's bring. And what I mean by bring is their talent, all of their potential into play. Generation X, we've been on the bench entirely too long. We know what is going on here. We have to fix ourselves and we have to fix ourselves together. That's the point that we're in. And I want us to go from Generation X to Generation Fix. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to start talking about a playbook of complete development, of total development between generations, between us, within ourselves. And it's what I call the you bring generation, which is basically the idea of intergenerational development, intergenerational leadership. That is Generation X. We know where the minds are. We are of the visceral generation. But we have 3 generations that are all pooling together with us because, hey, I love my parents and I want them to enjoy the rest of their lives, but their time of leadership is over. It's our time. But we have to do it together because we have generations that have grown up in virtual worlds that are having difficulty competing in visceral worlds because we're not doing it together. The You Bring generation is based on intergenerational development, where we have to address the issues of our time. We have the technology now that may be peaking out in certain areas because all it's doing is turning into propaganda and advertisement and marketing us misinformation, disinformation. It doesn't know what to do with itself. Then the technology doesn't either. We're just sitting back allowing it to try and get intelligent all of a sudden. We are the intelligence. We are the visceral technology of all of our generation's virtual experience. We have so much potential in our younger generations. We have so much potential in our generation. We are the bridge to completing people together. And I'm not saying any one way. I'm saying that we know in our hearts that we have more to discover, develop, and deliver in ourselves to bring it out into the world. And in my perspective as a coach, as an educator, I can get people to peak performance. That's not a problem. But my greatest challenge is getting people to believe in themselves, that they can scale out their greatness into every aspect of their lives and every aspect of our lives. The you bring Generation X going to Generation Fix, is that we can provide ourselves a more complete approach to human development together. You bring Copractics, you see the bulls here. This is always a symbol, the ring behind me. It's the bull in the ring mentality. We don't have to sacrifice ourselves anymore. We don't have to sacrifice ourselves to rage, to depression. We don't have to go through this by ourselves alone. No generation going forward has to. We have the means now. We have the technology. If we hold the creators of the technology accountable to create it as the tool that it can be for us, all of us, every race, creed, color, age, however you communicate your life, we have been practiced on long enough. We have been monitored, monetized, and we have had too much of our time taken away to distraction. It is time to take our attention back and turn it from distraction into focus so that we're not going through the motions of our lives anymore. It's time for us to rule our recruitment. Our commitments are all over the place. They're watered down. We have to focus on our passion and be precise about how we develop one another. This isn't a pep talk. This is my focus as my company going forward. You Bring Generation is about involving the development of all the generations simultaneously and instantaneously through us becoming a greater team, from us utilizing the technology as a tool for us. Right now, we are its tool. Right now, human predictability is the one thing that scares the heck out of everybody that is selling to us right now. We have generations that have been sold to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's 168 hours in a week. And we have generations of kids that are spending 50 hours a week on this thing, coming away with nothing except distraction, except their time. They're getting other people wealthy, but they're not even getting paid time and a half for the 50 hours they're putting in. You see it trickling down into football, where the 1% of the 1% get paid for their name and likeness. You're seeing the foundation of team breaking down in front of us because our locker rooms have revolving doors on them, at least at the football level. But this is the way it is in business too. You have kids that are going to the highest bidder rather than just finding out what their passion is so they can spend their time not searching just for the highest paying job, or when they don't get it, they don't compete at all. We have to dig in now, guys. Generation X has to get their ass off the bench. We're already on the field. We've been in this concussed state of consciousness for entirely too long. We have to fix ourselves, because we went through a lot of shit as a generation. No boo-hoo here. We're not weak. We're not snowflakes. We're awakening, and we are better together than we are divided. And that is the time that we're living in right now. We are not divided. We are isolated by this technology that does not work for us. It's not part of the game plan for our total development and our success. You Bring Total Development has been focused on this my entire life. But it's only now that I realize that Generation X, it's our time. But it's everybody's time, simultaneously and instantaneously. We have this ability in our technology. We have technology that can learn from our greatest aspects of who we are rather than digging through the open cesspool of the internet to present us with crap that is just like flashing lights, like the lights behind me, behind my bar. This technology has more potential in it. So do we. We have to utilize it to identify our potential, to help us define the way all of our generations want to move forward in this country, in freedom, in decision, the way we want to communicate our lives into reality. We have to have our passion grow from our rage. We can't be sacrificed. We have to acquiesce to the human spirit and start to develop the spirit. We have to hunt for our potential and bring it out. That is the food and the fuel of future generations. This is Coach Pilkey, and I'm sorry I'm long-winded, but I love each and every one of you. I don't care what you believe, where you're from, how you feel in your life. If you've got greatness in your heart and you want to teach young people and you want to develop yourself, this is the You Bring generation. The great generation is gone. The baby boomers have dropped their bombs. It's our time. We know the lay of the land when it comes to trauma. We can overcome it ourselves and make it work for us. This technology should not be causing any more trauma in our kids. No more hesitation of self. No more disbelief in self. If it's not building for them, then we get rid of it and start with something new. Intergenerationally, we are absolutely unbeatable. When we are divided and we are separated by gender and race and creed and color, we have to get beyond all this crap now, guys. There's a new playbook, and we're the ones that have to write it. If this technology doesn't work for us, get off of it. Turn it off. Take your time back. Let's meet. Let's build teams. Let's build visceral relationships so that when we decide to go back into the virtual environment, we demand collectively what the technology is going to provide to us. No more giving your information away for free. No more monitoring us. No more measuring us and then feeding back our own bullshit to ourselves. We don't grow from that. These endless loops of crap. We're not growing from this. We're growing apart. We're out of time until we take it back. And that's where we are right now. It's our time to get our asses off the benches. No more being in the stands. And I love the Buffalo Mafia. I love football. But football is not a metaphor for life. Life is the collision sport. It breaks us down and it hardly ever builds us back up again. That's our job. Intergenerational development and leadership. I hope this reaches some of you. If you're interested in it, I have a great group of coaches and people that are interested in it in Buffalo, New York. We're launching this from Buffalo, New York, because our greatest export is not the chicken wing. It's our people. It's our people. We are the spirit in Buffalo, New York. Thank you for letting me take this time to shout at you and to coach you, but hopefully you understand that I'm not talking to you or at you. I'm trying to talk to you. And if anything that I'm saying is ringing that bell, do something today to better somebody else's life. Do something today to fix yourself if there's something broken. Go out and get that help. Please, go get that mental health help. Go speak to people that will listen to you and not just feed you back, but are people. Call your friends that you're worried about. Reach out to your family members that it doesn't matter what your political differences are. That's the result of all the different bullshit propaganda that we've been fed for the last how many years? Probably our entire lives. It's time for us to get our asses off the bench. Because we're already in the game, guys. We're already in it. Collision is. And we're all breaking down. We're all losing time. We're all distracted way too much, away from each other. It's time to fix what isn't working any longer. We have the ability, intergenerational development and leadership, the You Bring generation. Thank you very much for your time. This is Coach Pilkey, and I am done coaching for the day. God bless you. Love you. Take care.